Overnight, global dairy trade showed a sharp decline in dairy prices. The trade-weighted index for dairy prices fell almost 10% and is now below 10-year averages according to global dairy trade. Now, the declines were fairly broad-based across product types, but cheese prices did decline by the most, falling over 12%. Now, much of the correction in dairy prices that we've seen over recent months is due to very strong production growth that we've seen this year. New Zealand alone is looking like it's going to record over 10% production growth this season, and estimates suggest that global production is going to be well over up 3% this year, and this is outstripping demand. Another factor that's contributing to the decline in dairy prices are lower feed prices. This reduces the cost of production for our offshore competitors and will also see stronger production growth going forward. Now, the Reserve Bank of New Zealand is likely to be uncomfortable about the recent decline in dairy prices, particularly as it hasn't been matched by a decline in the New Zealand dollar. Back at the March monetary policy statement, the Reserve Bank did not feel that the elevated level of the New Zealand dollar was justified by New Zealand's economic fundamentals, and this remains the case in April, and we expect the Reserve Bank to make strong mention of the high level of the New Zealand dollar at the upcoming statement. Developments were fairly mixed overnight, but the New Zealand dollar largely shrugged off the weaker developments and instead benefited from the stronger confidence, which also saw a rally in equity markets. The New Zealand dollar continues to hold around that 82-cent level against the US dollar, which it has been there for a few weeks now. Now, it was quite interesting because markets largely responded to some strong data out of Europe. In particular, a Spanish bond auction actually went fairly well with fairly solid demand. This was quite reassuring because there have been some jitters over the past week that perhaps Spanish bondholders are becoming quite nervous on the outlook. Also, we saw a strong German investor confidence survey come out, and this was another reassuring sign that shows the Eurozone economy may exit recession by the end of the year. Now, the markets largely shrugged off weaker US economic data and concentrated on stronger earnings results. The New Zealand dollar also largely shrugged off the weaker dairy prices, and this was quite surprising. We saw the New Zealand dollar also outperform against the yen, the euro and the pound. However, the New Zealand dollar remained largely flat against the Aussie dollar. The Aussie also benefited from strong investor confidence overnight.